Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including the latest in greenhouse gas regulations.
We discuss some nutritional guidelines to keep in mind before breeding season, along with tips for developing replacement heifers.
The Cattle on Feed report delivered some surprising results, and we highlight the popular Angus Youth Leadership Conference that raises the bar.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association is taking strides to challenge the Environmental Protection Agency's findings and rules on greenhouse gases in the United States Supreme Court. NCBA, along with Coalition for Responsible Regulation, filed a petition last month in the Supreme Court that questions the EPA's findings that greenhouse gases endanger public health and welfare, its rule to limit greenhouse gases from passenger vehicles, and its timing and tailoring rules that govern greenhouse gases at stationary sources.
Proper nutrition becomes important this time of year to ensure cows get the nutrients they need to breed successfully. Here, Justin Sexton of the University of Missouri discusses some key tips for supplementation, forage availability, and feed costs.
We're right in the middle of what would be considered grass tetany season. So for the next 30 days, we'll think about cows that might be suffering from grass tetany, a result of a magnesium deficiency, where high milk producing cows, you might see this in a high production older cow that's not able to utilize magnesium as effectively. And so one of the symptoms of that is you'll find those cows thrashing about. And so we want to make sure we have a high mag mineral out in front of the cows for the next 30 days. We're also starting into the start of the breeding season. Many of our producers are getting ready to start artificially inseminating cows, and then we'll turn the bull out. And so we start to think about, well, how do we make sure that we have adequate nutrition during those times? And at the same time, make sure that we manage our pastures appropriately. And so we start to think about making sure that we have at least 3 to 4 inches of forage growth available when we turn them out. And one of the things I like for people to remember is if we can keep forage between the nose and the eyeball of a cow, it's about optimum in terms of forage quality.
The Environmental Protection Agency admits it released the names and contact information for approximately 80,000 U.S. farmers and ranchers. Although much of the information released by the EPA was reportedly publicly available elsewhere, many farmers and ranchers groups were infuriated by the release since the information was given to environmental activist groups such as Earth Justice. The groups reportedly used the Freedom of Information Act to request the information, including names, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. The agency is now receiving some tough questioning from Congress to determine if it violated the Federal Privacy Act. We'll continue to report on this story as it develops.
Agricultural economists at the University of Missouri project that with increased moisture and crop performance, the 2013 Farm Outlook will bring lower prices for both cattle and crops. The university predicts slightly more beef production in 2013, changing the downward trend that has driven meat prices higher in recent years. The outlook also forecasts a lower break-even price for cattle and hog producers, including some relief from record high feed costs. If the moisture trend holds and pastures improve, the economists anticipate beef cattle operations will look toward rebuilding their cow herds.
USDA's latest Cattle on Feed report shows the number of cattle placed in feedlots rose 6% in March at almost 1.9 million head. The report surprised many analysts, many of whom anticipated a decline. The March number is the highest seen at feedlots for the month since 2011. Jim Robb of the Livestock Marketing Information Center says all placement weight categories were above year-ago levels. Some analysts suggest winter weather conditions in February created a backlog of young cattle coming into feedlots in March. Analysts say increased placements suggest a few more cattle will go to market in late summer and early fall. The next Cattle on Feed report is scheduled for release later this week. When the Angus Report returns, Cindy Campbell reports on a study that shows record premiums for Angus calves.
And Nebraska's Rick Funston discusses a cost-effective plan for developing replacement heifers.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting bqa.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit bqa.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
At Merck Animal Health, we are dedicated to improving the health and well-being of animals through innovative science-based solutions, products, treatments, and services to ensure a dependable, affordable food supply. From cattleman to consumer, from farm to family, we're with you every step of the way. We work where you work. What drives you drives us. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
We've used Select Sires for a long time, probably for the last 25 years. Their service is second to none.
Select Sires has a lot of bulls that are balanced trait bulls that really fit our needs. We've always had really good conception with it, and I think they've got a real nice lineup of sires.
They like bulls that have all the economic traits, all the numbers that we're looking for, whether it be calving, he's, or carcass. And they put as much emphasis on structure and phenotype as any company we've worked with.
We all have essentially genetics that have something to offer to a lot of people, and that's where service differentiates the very good ones.
For superior service and superior genetics, visit selectsiresbeef.com.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.